folks, it's Martin French once more, doing yet another episode, i.e. a second episode of Finland on a Shoestring. The title, that's so good, it came to me after I had already filmed the first one. Oh dear. Anyway, I'm back. I would like to think that we might have a little bit of fun. I'm going to play my first couple of competitive games. Don't worry, I'll edit out the boringy stuff in between. But I might take a look at certain aspects, and also to do a little bit of a tour guide to Finland. There's plenty that we'll be doing at different points. Today I'm going to talk to you about Inter Turku themselves a little bit for a short bit, but firstly to explain this strange echo and also why I'm in this very, very pleasant looking place. This very, very pleasant looking place, allow me to show you around, is actually an ironing room here at a hotel in London. That's right, I'm in London today. Basically, we're on the way to Finland and we're going through London and maybe we're going through someplace interesting. I don't know if you'll see that next episode or when, but either way we're on our travels. So we're staying in a hotel. I think it's actually quite nice, but it's incredibly small. The ironing room is not that much smaller than our bedroom, which is why I'm in an ironing room, because it's after midnight and everyone's trying to sleep except me, because I like to do stupid silly things and entertain my three viewers. Hi three viewers. Hi Eric. The only viewer I know I definitely have. Anyway, pardon me. That's where I am and that's what I'm at. I used to live in London, so I'm hoping to meet up with a few friends tomorrow, which is also already today, and have a look around before we fly off in a couple of days' time. It's almost New Year's Eve, can you believe it? Another year over, another year still to come. It's like they don't stop. Anyway, it's about time we had a little bit of a look at Inter Turku. I learned from the last time you're just going to get pictures of the actual things I'm talking about this time, rather than have to deal with me having to put up an apology. Oh dear. It does seem like so much of what I do is apologize. But you know what? I'm bloody good at apologizing, so you can enjoy yet another quality apology before too long. But first let's talk a little bit about Turku. So their history is kind of interesting. Basically, what ended up happening was in 1990, the guy who founded them, for want of a better term, he decided that his kid wasn't really getting enough. I think I'm looking at directly at the internet. Stefan Håkans, again, apologies for pronunciation. He basically felt that his 11-year-old couldn't fit into the other youth teams in Turku, so he started out a youth team, and he called it Inter because his favourite club was Inter. This seems fairly benign, but I'm a bit of a sneaky conspiracy theorist, having had a little bit of look at the history of Turku and football there. I discovered that one of the biggest ever games there was in 1987, a year that the world knows as being the year that Paul Cashin nutmegged Jean Tegana in the European Cup Winners' Cup in the, I presume it must have been fourth round, as Waterford United allowed Bordeaux to win in a feat of great kindness. But it was also the year that the Veritas Stadium had its biggest ever attendance, 15,000 to see TPS, the other big Turku team, and the Turku team at that time, playing a team called Internazionale Milan. So yeah, 3 years after Inter visited Turku, this other guy who seems to think that the local massive sports club doesn't have a place for his son sets up a club and calls them Inter. Wonder what the results from that game were. More about that when we talk about TPS. And there will be a TPS report when I get to play them on this game. In the meantime, they basically took off really, really, really quick. Within, I don't know, 4 or 5 years they were playing top division football. They started with a league team in 1992, and that league team started off in the 4th division, as you should, and they kind of got an opportunity to kind of take the place of a team in the what they called the 2nd division in Finland, that had been from Turku, that had kind of gone bust. And in that first year, in the 3rd tier, the 2nd division, they came second and got promoted. And then they went up to the Ikuinen. You'll see this on the picture I've got up, which is basically the 1st division or the 2nd tier. And in their first season, they were 3rd. The following season, they were 1st. They're promoted to the top tier. They had a middling season, and then in the 2nd season in 1997, they got relegated, finishing 10th. But actually, they finished 7th, but they finished 10th. I need to investigate that more. Finnish football is not always straightforward, as far as I can tell. They got relegated, but they finished 2nd and they got promoted. They got 3rd. Again, confusion. Since then, since the season that was 1999, they've always been up there. This is going to be their 23rd season in the top, but their 21st consecutive season in the top tier, which I think is fair to say is pretty bloody good. I mean, considering they're only formed in 1992, the only team I can think that comes even close to this would be maybe Bate Borisov or Ludogorets in terms of coming from nowhere to being huge really, really quick. They've only won the league once, which was in 2008. But at the time they were doing it, they also did a double by winning the cup as well. The League Cup as well. League Cup, RIP, sadly no longer with us. They've finished 2nd twice, 2 years in a row, in 2011 and 2012. They finished 3rd once in literally their 3rd season in the top. Their first season back from promotion the 2nd time. 4th and 5th a bit. They've tended more to be 5th, 6th, down to 9th, 10th, and sometimes even 11th. 2 seasons ago they were 11th. Last season they were 9th. Hopefully, not last season. 3 seasons ago they were 11th. Last season they were 9th. 2018 I think they were 7th. But in 2018 they also won the actual Honest to God Cup in the first or 2nd season of a new style running of it. Basically, they changed the format of the cup, so it now runs with the early rounds going from June through to November. Then after the Christmas break, in the next month, in about a month, they start the group stages, which is where the major teams come in. The group stages in reality are a little bit different to what we've got here, but let's go with it. While we're on that same page, by the way, you'll also see a list of the past managers. I want to bring your attention to a guy called Job Dragsma. He's Dutch, and basically he was in charge for 9 years. He took charge in 2007. They won 2 cups. Did they win all 3 cups? Yeah, they've won 2 cups in his time, as in the League Cup, the Finnish Cup, and they won the league. They did all those things in just 3 years, in 2 years, as you can see. They've also won the league, the actual cup this year past, so they'll be playing in Europe this season. But because I've kind of cheated by jumping ahead and kicking off with us playing in 2019 rather than playing through 2018 because I'm impatient, well, we're not going to really get a chance to see that, are we? Sorry, no European adventure for me this season, or at least not yet. We'll see what happens. Speaking of Europe, they've done okay. This will be their 6th season in Europe, first time in Europe. They had success, the Intertoto Cup. They got through the first round, hammering the Icelanders by 4-0 in the away leg, bizarrely. I don't know how that happens, but anyway. Or it says the away leg, who knows. They lost to a Croatian team. They went out to Moldovans in 2009, 2010. Basically, the Champions League, they were knocked out by Sheriff of Moldova. More respectable to be knocked out by like Genk, but going out 8-3 in the Europa League, not kind of embarrassing. Twente Enschede, good team to go out to, and going out 6-1, not good. Then they went out to Faroese, Vikingur. Now, the Faroese, you'll never beat the Faroese is a song that should exist, but seriously, you shouldn't be going out to Vikingur. Anyway, let's get on with the show. You didn't come here today. You didn't pay massive money to see me yammering about Finland. Well, presumably you paid the same amount as you paid to see me yammering and playing about FC Inter, or Inter Turku as I'm going to be calling them. So, as you can see, next match today, 23rd of January, I am in the future, is against Rups. Now, Rups is Rovaniemi Palloseura. Palloseura basically means football club. So TPS is Turku Sports Palloseura, or something like that. Or no, I'm an idiot. It's Turku Palloseura. Again, apologies for pronunciation. I'm not going to talk about them very much right now because I think when we're in Finland, the plan is to go to actual Rovaniemi and figure out how it's pronounced and do the whole thing up there. Part of the reason to go up there is it's north of the Arctic Circle. Part of the reason is also that is apparently where Santa Claus lives. So those of you who are listening in, excited about Santa Claus, okay, I hope you're listening to this really late because the Santa thing happened like last week. So you missed it. Anyway, have a quick look around. Might as well have a look at tactics. Tactics is always an interesting thing, or I find it interesting anyway. This is what I'm at the moment. I tried this in the last game, which was a friendly against Mariam, and I thought it went okay. I'm going to move ideally onto something like this. Don't worry, Nyman will not be there. But I think this sort of variation on the sort of the slightly malformed Christmas tree could be successful. I am also pretty rather than bright. So we'll see how that goes. But for this big game coming up, this first game of the Cup, I'm going to go with the defensive mid. It's an away game, as you can see from up here. So we're going to see how these guys get on. I think it's going to do okay. Don't want to show you corners, but yeah, I've got corner things. If you're really interested, I'll talk about it happily at a later point in time. But I don't think the corners are very interesting unless they're really, really successful. Mine are not. Suggestions on the back of a postcard. This is, again, ignore the players that are in the positions. This is what I was doing the first 3 games, but then, the first 2 games, and it was quite successful. Managed to win 2 of these friendlies 4-0, but they were against nobody teams, like teams I'd be playing for. The big change came when I got hold of this guy as a trialist, Hradrecki. That's again badly pronounced for those of you who are keeping score at home. Complaints to the usual place. So I have a very thin squad in many ways. Let's have a look at the abilities again. Got a couple of really good players. This guy is better than, or at least as good as all of them, according to this. If he fits in the team, that's another day's work. I've got some good players all round, but I've got like 11 or 12 good players all round. Kind of, when you're getting below the 3.5, when you're getting below the 3s, it gets sketchy, especially if you're playing top tier. The 3.5s, that's perfectly fine. 4s is better, and obviously you want the 5s, but Leo Messi isn't playing for us. But I discovered an interesting thing, and this is something you should always do when you're playing Football Manager, because I don't, and I'm a moron who shakes his screen while he's talking. Basically, when you're in a competition, just before the competition starts, click on the competition. Make sure you're in the correct round, and in this case, it's The stage is the group stage, the preliminary quarterfinals, PLQs. I don't know. And go to the rules, and you'll see two things. Number one, trialists allowed to play in matches. The squad may have no more than 2 players who are on trial. Good. I will put 2 trialists in who I'm interested in. I'll show you the other one in a moment. And number 2, always important. Where is it now? I saw it a moment ago. 7 subs named. You'll figure that out for yourself. Maximum 5 used. You can use 5 subs in this cup. That is brilliant news for me as somebody who likes to develop young players, said the guy who's trying to get in older players. No, it's great if you're trying to develop your young players when you can have that many subs, especially in a massive group stage thing. I'll look at the other player, then we'll have a talk about the cup again. Actually, let's talk about the cup right now. Sorry, you'd never think that I actually sat down and thought about this beforehand, would you? Because I thought about all the other things. I thought about how am I going to beat these guys. Anyway, the stages. These are 2 groups of 6. This is not how it is in real life. In real life, it's like a load of groups. I think groups of 5, maybe 4 groups of 5, and the top 2 go through, or maybe it's 6 groups of 4. I don't know. Might need to be a bit quiet. The people asleep. I hope they're asleep. Or maybe they're riveted. They're probably asleep. Anyway, the top 4 in the Finnish Cup on Football Manager go through to the next round. So I have to try to be better than either of these 2 teams. 2 teams in this group. Lahti are pretty good. HJK are pretty good. Rups are pretty good. SJK, they're not bad. VPS, Visible Panty Spray, I don't know. Vasan, Palosura. Well, either way, I have to finish above 2 guys from this group. I'm okay with finishing above HJK. I'll just let it be known now. I just really don't expect that to happen. So as you can see, where is it? Results between teams comes ahead of goal difference. So HJK can pack the goals in against everybody else. But if I nip a 1-0 win against them, and we have identical records otherwise in terms of victories and draws, we go ahead of them. Goal difference next, then goals scored. Top 4 qualify for the second round. So I'm hoping I don't have to rely on goal difference and goals scored to get through to the next round. There were 7th last season. There's 12 teams in it. I mean, I have to be not one of the bottom 4, and I wasn't last year. So fingers crossed. Usual kind of band stuff. So this round will be over by the 6th of March, and then we'll be on for the next one. 3 points for win. Sometimes it's different. Just to warn you, sometimes it's different. Back to the squad. So here's the other guy I'm interested in. I'm particularly interested in both of these guys because of one simple thing. I want to develop a club that is grounded in its locale. And while he's Slovak, or half Slovak, place of birth, Turku. Played once for the national team. Most recently, played for SJKs, played for TPS, played for IFK, and a lot of TPS. So he stole them from the rivals. I mean, maybe it's a case that he's the runt brother. I do not know why he wasn't being used by the time I got there. Actually, I'll go back again. Come on, Maciej. And let's get information. So he's got 2 brothers. I think Thomas, is at TPS, and he looks pretty decent. I mean, at first glance, he's had a bit of a travel around. He's had a decent career. He's played a good bit. He's 26, only 3 years older than our fella, who has played. He's played a decent amount of football as well. 93 games in that time is pretty good, I think. And information, Lucas. So he's got a photograph, so he's good. I mean, 52 caps, 29 years old, playing for Bayer in Germany. Eintracht Frankfurt, Brøndby, Esbjerg. Yeah, he never got a game with TPS. Who'd have thought? Maybe he did earlier. Wouldn't have expected that though. I'd have thought he'd have played 258 games under his belt as a goalkeeper. That says something. So yeah, if I can get into the Hradraki family, I'll be very happy with myself. This guy, similarly, also not what you'd call specifically Norwegian, Finnish. He's Kosovan, but as before, born in Turku. Nationalities, Albanian and Kosovan. 5 caps for Kosovo. He's a pretty all-round decent player. Has played a couple of games and played in a few spots as well. Again, I'm kind of surprised he was available because he's played in the Netherlands and Norway as well as Finland. Hasn't actually had a game for the crosstown rivals, but has been with HJK. Played a full season for them. Looks like a pretty much full season for them there before going off to go ahead. Okay, yeah, I'll stop with the jokes. So he's on trial with us. I'm fingers crossed. He's he was 2 seasons with HJK and he won, 1 season with HJK and runners up in 2 things. That's unfortunate. But yeah, he's a local boy, and with a report that looks like this, I kind of have high hopes. I have another guy on loan, Nosh Alodi. He's not going to be in the squad for this one because I can only have the 2. But he looks decent. Congolese and Finnish. He's basically got a marginally better or potentially better setup than Rexy, and his stats marginally better. But he's also 29, so I'm not in as much a rush. But I'm interested to see what he can do. He'll be gone at the end of the week though. Let me see, where are we on my list of things? So Cup format and Rovaniemi, trial list. Yeah, I've shown you the tactics. Oh yeah, team dynamics. This is something that I discovered basically today that I hadn't seen in the game before. When particularly the captain and team leader, Furuln, when he likes what I say, other players in the squad like what I say. So that's an interesting thing to note. Hopefully that's going to have an influence. You can see they're all in it together. We've got a secondary group with Mansali. Obviously the 2 new guys, the trialists, they're not listed anywhere. Who knows what will happen there? Excuse me. Time for a bit of water. Brought to you by hydration, the thing that's overrated but is actually kind of useful. Anyway, we've had all the chat, we've done all the bits and pieces, we've looked at squads and stuff. Oh yeah, I do this thing as well when I'm looking at players. When they come in, I try to see what the fans think. Let's see if there's anything about Lodi. 37 agreed with wouldn't be the worst decision a club has ever made. It's like vaguely positive. 43 feeling pretty annoyed at this news, very, very negative, and 37 saying, yeah, great news. It's kind of inclining me to go, maybe not. Of course, I'm really hot on Rex Happy, and it's like 37% saying it's vaguely positive, 33% saying very positive, and 43 saying annoyed at the news. It's not a great guide, but I do pay attention. So Rexy is going to have a couple of games, and we're going to see how that's going to go. So looking at the starting line, my usual top goalkeeper. I probably showed it earlier. I think I showed a clip of the current squad on a very, very badly formatted picture. Have a go at it, see who's there and who isn't. But this is my first. The only 2 players I've even looked at buying are these 2 guys. I've got rid of a couple of players at Inter Turku 2, presumably the Interinning, and that's it. So we have this guy's been kick. Actually, let's go look at the selection info because I think that's more useful here. He's only played 3 games, but he's got a rocking score. I think he got like a 9.3 or something, a 9.4 in one game. He's done okay as a defender. He's got 2 games under his belt. Whoops. I like him. He's tall. I don't know why. I don't think he's very good, but I like him. This guy's great, but he's getting on. If you look at his stats, acceleration 7, pace 10. I would only lose a running race to him by maybe 10 or 20 seconds over 100 meters. He's not very great. This guy, he's been doing great in training, so I thought, why not give him a shot? And then we have the new boy. We've got Ojala, not too sure. He is finished though, so he's also 30, but he's bloody good, slow as he may be. He can put the ball into place. Makitalo is pretty decent. This guy's potentially very good, but not as good as I feel I need him to be. And also, he's 31, so he's waning. Great valuation on him at 145, but he's waning. I need to give this guy more time, so he's probably going to come on. This defender's pretty decent. As you can see, 7.57 so far. This defender is pretty decent, but I wanted the tall guy to try something out in terms of attack. Guevara's pretty good. I mean, you can see these are good reports, but these are from against 2 crappy teams and Mariham. So who's to say? This guy's been mostly injured. I like the look of him as an attacking mid, but again, don't like this guy so much, which is annoying because I like having an attacking left winger. But we'll see how that goes. And Lassie come home. He's the best of a bad lot of mediocre strikers. So shall we go on with the game? Let's go on with the game. So, Group A games going on today. Ooh, is that Group A? That my Group A? I think there's only 6 in my Group A. I have no idea what's going on. Oh, no, I have still no idea what's going on here. Maybe there's a different cup for, like, the lower leagues. See, I keep on saying, always check up about stuff, but I clearly don't. FDQ, First Division qualifiers, Premier League qualifiers. I don't get it. Either way, so we have the games. HJK start away, we start away, Lati start away. Rups is probably the best bet for an away win. SJK, let's have a look at SJK competitions. They won it as recently as 2015, third in 2016. Well, they've really had everything that's any good for them in the last couple of years. So SJK have a good shot. VPS, have they done lately? History competitions. I think it'd be fair to say they haven't really done lately. Third in 2013. Runner-up in the League Cup in 2014. RIP. Meanwhile, Rupsh. Let's see what their history is. So they came close. They were second in 2015. Sliding. Competition-wise, and they've won stuff like the First Division, and the Finnish Cup as recently as 2013. Still isn't really screaming pedigree. Tactics-wise, it's going to see a lot of these sort of low-backed, far-back defenders. The Mariham game, it was practically a line of 6 defenders. How can you beat that? I mean, you can't, and we didn't. So, presumably no one can. Right, let's get on with the game. We're in our away kit, our saucy red, which makes no sense. But we did win the cup in red in the real world. Expectations very much on the other side, Rops to win. The goalkeepers in their team are far from eccentric. That is a strength. I think not. but they're not good on long shots. So maybe we should put that into play. What do you think? FC Inter team selection. Yeah, everything making sense there. Attacking mentality. I thought they wanted me to change that. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. Let's see. Do you have anything about taking chances more? No, but you can see basically my setup there for these. Focus play down the rings. Let's keep with that for now. Okay, so make sure we've got our 7 midfield or 7 subs. Team selection. 1, 2, 3, 4 players are lacking match sharpness. Yeah, kinda no. Ooh, we get to give out squad numbers. Aren't you lucky you came when you did? Let's see. He should get a good one, as he's pretty good. 8. He's a fly-by-night. We'll see if he'll do 39. I'll put the lump hammer. Let's put the lump hammer at a very solid 28. Okay, I haven't actually been asked to submit numbers, by the way, so who knows? Who knows if I'll get that chance? Ooh, team's warming up. The tension, the excitement. First game of the season. Bluebeard takes to the field for the first time, according to all the stuff they're saying. So, Moisander's, my goalkeeper's going to be my key man. That sounds a great start. Let's have a look at the dressing room. Team talk. Go out there with clear mind. Say nothing. Okay. No. Come on, lads, show me what you can do. And Nyman looked to gain confidence. Lahti was inspired. So that is the thing. If you can inspire your team leaders, that makes things easier. Let's see what it takes to get Furulum, this guy talking. Let's go for the attack. Pressure's off. Watch you guys there. I will go with the top one. Nope, not interested at all. Well. So much for that. We got our full back is happy with what I said, and let's tell our midfield the same thing basically. And Nyman again, majority of the players reacted positively to the comments. Interesting. But not universal. Either way, good. Let's go to opposition instructions. As a matter of course, I tend to have tight marking on attacking mids and on strikers. This is telling me that put him onto his weaker foot. What's his weaker foot? Right. Right, so put him onto his right foot. What's this fella? Yeah, I find that you get coaches who have a thing. And whatever that thing is, they will do it to death. Either foot. I can't put onto a right or a worst. Put it on blank. Not even waste time trying to pull the foot, play footsie with him. Right. That should be good. Yep. And what's this guy got coming on him? Going hard but fair. I only know hard, which is fair enough for him. I don't know why these are showing up. I've tended to find that if you have too many things too aggressively promoted, as in things they need to learn or do, they don't actually always respond very well. And, they can only do so many. So it's our left foot I need to put him onto. And I always have the goalkeeper pressed. That's a me thing. You don't have to do it. Or even watch. But hopefully you're enjoying watching. Feedback, always worthwhile having a look. 2 of the midfielders need more minutes. A few of the players are causing concerns. Okay, let's go to the tunnel. They've got a question for me in my first game. Oh, can I sum up my feelings? Excited, but Why not? Let's go be passionate. Passionately enjoy this first time job. Okay. Blast. Other question. I don't know answers to questions. So, good player on other team is missing. Yeah, let's be nice. Let's not be dicks on our first game. How important is it to start with a fixture? Yeah. We'll go wild and say, yeah, we want to win. Because, why shouldn't we? I see different people putting up different things. This is the one I like to put up. I like to keep an idea on the formation and what's going on there. But we'll keep it away for now. Let's see what happens. Nothing. Taiwo. Listeners of the World Football Phone-In would know that Taiwo and Kayande are generally twins in Nigeria in the Yoruban dialect. One means the guy who comes after. I think that's Kayande. I could be wrong. So, this is an exciting opening 35 seconds. We've hoofed the ball long once and that's been it. Come on, lads. Yeah, let him sit there. It's not... ooh. No, that was a bit of dust on the screen. But I mistook for the ball for a moment. I thought it had gone to one of our players. Well, I probably should use those screen wipes my mother always gets me for Christmas, shouldn't I? We'll see. Oh, nicely handled there, Moisander. Elementary Moisander. Yeah, I did try to go there. Sorry. Oh, we have the ball. Hadrichi. Lati. Let's see. Oh, yes. 2 passes perfectly strung together. And that's the end of that. So, Taiwo again. Come on, lads. Get the ball. I've taught you to press. It's going to be a long season, isn't it? Anyhow. So hopefully what we'll be seeing is maybe us trying to win the ball. Oh, we nearly did. We nearly tried. Let me clean that bit of dust away because it's distracting. Yeah, cleared up to nobody. I know we're away, but it's the first game of the season. They're probably a bit rusty themselves. But I'd like to see something. There we go. I think I lowered the line of engagement. Honestly, my attitude is always, it's never a bad thing to experiment and try stuff out, because then you figure it out. Each game engine is different. Me, I like to have some kind of asymmetry. 2 minutes 32 in, and we're already at this bad a state. I'm going to check very quickly to make sure I didn't put this on full game. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to watch the corner first. Ooh, that's not good. Let's check this. Show full match. I played a game earlier. I normally do comprehensive, but I have a feeling extended should be enough. Yeah, I played a full game earlier, and it took the time it should take. It was not a full match. So there we go. I was beginning to worry, are they just going to dominate me? But, that's swings and roundabouts. Right, well, we had a shot that we don't even get to see. This is why I do comprehensive. But, go on, Taiwo. Good. Can kick it into their shins all day long, or wherever else you need to kick it. Just don't kick it into the goal. Get out. Get out. Right, wide. Yeah, if only we had a full back playing for our team, that would make it a little bit easier. I know this is the first league game, but I had hope that we would be doing a little bit. We'd have a little bit more of the ball 10 minutes in than one big hoof and a 2-pass combo. Well, let's see. All of our attacks down the left, which is the side we don't have a winger. Good. You guys keep doing you. Here. Could you actually kick it to one of your own fellas? We aren't meant to be playing the offside trap. And we did. And we did it badly. And he finished his goal. He finished his shot nicely. And we're a goal down. So here's the bit where I probably should stamp and screen, but it has kind of been coming all 12 minutes. Disappointing. We should encourage our players to play a short passing game. I thought I had that set up. Coco scored once. Go to tactics. Pause that maybe. So there's some interest. No wonder we're crap. I moved the team around and they're crap that way. So did anyone see something happening when I was gone from the room that minute there and they changed my team? Wow. This is the thing when you set everything up. You kind of expect it to stay set up. Right, let's see now that we've given them a gold start if we can actually play our game with the team we have. I mean, we probably won't, but we'll see. Nobody's playing particularly bad, so that's heartening. One guy took his goal well, so let's hope moving players into the positions in which they were expecting to play will prove to be a revolutionary effort. Oh, come on, 6th. Here. Let's see. 25 minutes in. Hey, we aren't going backwards anymore, so that's good. Disappointed with our striker. 6.5. He's good. He's played somewhat okay, but I think he's got a stamina issue, and that would be problematic. Let's see, has he a stamina issue? No, he's got great stamina compared to me. Maybe it's a mental thing, but he seems to be happy. I suppose he knows not. Oh, God. Oh. Well, that would be 2. Yeah. Yeah, I'm the annoying guy who likes to look at the movement of the ball. But yeah, that's a stinker. Took it well. And now you see the numbers plummet. 6.3s, 6.4s. And they're going to score a third. And then... and there's the third. I feel like Mike Curley looked when he managed Waterford back in the mid-2000s. Like he was just standing there and not actually able to do anything. So look at this. Ball comes in, comes out, he pops it in. Easy header into the goal. Tut, tut, tut. Can we even see out the end of the half? Close them down. Yeah, I asked you to do that. Okay, balanced. We're going to have to go attacking at this point. Because at this point, we can only concede more goals. All of a sudden, the time of the night hits me. Come on, these are going to be 2 long minutes. Please let us get through these minutes. Oh, come on. 56, 57, 58, 59. Okay, so lost and recovered a lot. Struggled for possession in our half. Hardly conceded any free kicks. Good number of touches to the ball in the penalty area. Is that my penalty area or their penalty area? Poor shots. Oh God. I'm just going to say it must be really cold in Rovaniemi, which I know it probably is. I mean, they don't call it the sort of the mild to fair, the fair to middling circle, do they? let's have a look at match stats. I have my own customization. I like looking at woodwork and block shots. Well, I don't like looking at 0 woodwork, 0 block shots, 0 clear-cut chances, 0 half chances. They've had 1 clear-cut chance and have scored 3 goals. Disappointing. Yellows are okay. Kilometers run. For some reason, my teams always tend to run more. And the curse that is the score of the players. So let's see what we can do. 6-3, 6-2, 6-4, 6-4, 6-4, 6-4, 6-3, 6-4, 6-3, 6-6. Wow, they must be doing something right. I actually cannot think of anything to do with this lot, short of literally changing the tactics and bringing on a different fella. Let's give these better things to do. Support and Lati. Defend. Let's put him in the middle, it just looks better. So ball winning defensive midfielder. This is gangly supermodel. No, probably not. Supporting playmaker. And he really should be... Actually, let's put him on the defend duty. I don't have a lot of faith in any of them right now. Let's bring on Kaninga for this guy. Sorry, Ari, your time is up. Vic. Kaningas. Let's make him supporting advanced playmaker. Yeah, that was a lousy half. Let's see what the heat maps were. You can see they've got a cogent idea here. We are 2 chicken legs and some weird fingers. Now the thing I don't want. The performance was disappointing, and we should let them know that. Yeah, that's a license. Pleased how things are going. Let's give the fans something to go. No, I expect to see a much better show from you. And of course, one of them switches off, and he's one of the most influential. Let's see. Let's see what we've got here. I want you to prove you everything you got to play for this cup. Oh god, that didn't work. And I don't really have anything to say to the defense. Let's see what they're feeling like. No, they're all composed. Shouldn't be, but they all are. Let's try. What do we try? Try that. Oh, that seemed to cheer a few people up. Furamon is still pissed, so let's not add fuel to that fire. I'm not even gonna try to change any more than I have already. We'll see what happens. A little bit more spark. Do I detect a desire to not lose? We'll see soon enough. Pardon me. All this travelling, it makes me a little bit ill. So, and also all these late nights as well. Oh God, jeez, I thought that was certain going to be 4. Okay. Yeah. Friendlies, eh? Great guide to the season. There we go. Let's hope that they dispatch us with the minimum amount of pain at this point. Oh God. 6-2s, 6-3s, 6-4s. I'll probably throw everything that isn't a 6-4 or bigger. let's see what's going to happen. 10 minutes into the half. Feels like nothing's really happened. Although we have had 2 shots, which I haven't seen. Oh, look at this. 6-2, 6-2, 6-1, 6-2. Let's just remove some of these poor guys, put them out of my misery. I tend to go via tactics because normally that gives me a little bit more freedom to tinker with stuff on the way back. Let's go with Lassie. Come on, Lassie. And we will make him a poacher, I suppose. Gentleman poacher. Who else came on? Latty. Oh, dude, I'm sorry. Yeah. Let me see. Who else is on the horror list? Oh, yeah. That guy I like, that I keep on talking about how I like him. Yeah, gone. Not doing anything here. Why are these fullbacks, not wingbacks? I swear, if my mother's been in tinkering with this kind of stuff, there'll be words. Not very successful or effective words, but there will be words. Now, I think she does a good job on the stopper. Rexy. We'll see. We'll see. We've had 3 changes of 5. 2 changes of 5. Let's give a team talk to the 2 of them, and we'll say, yeah, yep, the striker is into it, and Sally not so bothered. Okay, let's get going. See if we can at least get a goal back. I mean, the goals don't matter. It really is the result. And we'll only play Rups once in this tier. We'll play them in the league, but that'll be it. Any improvement on the other guys? CSU 6-2 and a couple of 6-3s. Okay, lads, come on. Get it down the end. Yes, that is something that looks like something, but he's on his own and he can only kick it straight at the keeper. Not a tall man, by the way. I think from the last game, he was the guy least likely to score from a header. For me, anyway. It is picking up, but it's very slowly. So we live in hope. 70th minute. That's normally good. Let's change the troops' time. Oh, do we have an attack? We have an attack. We've kept the ball. 2 passes, 3 passes. Can we get a 4th? 4, 5. Ah, was it worth the effort? That was worth the effort. That's a shame. Let's tinker. I did mention, didn't I, that Claudio Ranieri is one of my favourite managers because he's never shy to take a stupid risk that anybody else would not have known better than to take. Yeah. Who is she replacing that with? No, let's let them play on a bit. I don't necessarily know that I have a more interesting or fun thing set up. So let's just go with it. See what happens, come what may. Nothing's happening at all, which I suppose is better than what was happening. But I also remember I've got 3 more subs that I can bring on, 3 more opportunities to get players match fit and playing and avoid getting out, we'll say, of this funk that this particular game has brought about. They have not enjoyed themselves. Let's put on Guevara even. What's his gig? I think he's an attacking central midfield. Yeah, okay. Confirm. That way at least we get 5 players a little bit closer to fit. 5 players a little bit healthier. So, anything gonna happen, guys? Looks like we've had a load of shots. 6 shots, 3 on target, but no great fun in watching any of these things happen. Waiting for the next highlight. 80. Come on, put me out of my misery. Put the fans out there at home out of their misery. All 3 of them. Oh, hang on. Could we get one? Not a chance. We're rooted to 6th right now, which is, fair enough. There's been 1 game, but still, get on them. Okay, you can feel that I'm getting tired as well. It's been a long day. I was up at 5 this morning I was up at 5 this morning because I have a child who kicks, but I was up at 5:30 this morning, 5:15 in fact, in order to try and get all of our stuff ready, into a car that went onto a ferry, that went onto a train, that went onto another train, that went onto a rail replacement service bus, that went finally onto our own train, but much later than planned, to get here for a 3-0 defeat. Woo! There we go. Misery gone. That was hard to take. That was very hard to take. 3-0. Oh, it's hard when you're awake, but when you're knackered, it's like, oh God, do we have to have that? But, I mean, I'm happy to see whatever happens. We'll see what happens. Anyway, in the meantime, folks, that's been an overly long episode to get 1 game. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Next time, be an awful lot shorter. Take care. Goodbye.